Welcome back to my channel, Valuable Rare Coins. If you love discovering hidden treasures in your pocket change, you're in the right place. First, we'll uncover some of the most valuable and rare US coins that could be worth a fortune. Let's dive in. We're talking about the United States Wheat Penny 1 cent from the year 1937, a coin that appears ordinary at first glance but holds incredible potential if you know what to look for, if you're a coin lover, collector, or just someone fascinated by the mystery of rare finds. You're in for a real treat. Because today, we're going to dive deep into what makes the 1937 Wheat Penny so special, how to spot rare varieties, and what features can push its value into unbelievable territory. The 1937 Wheat Penny was struck at 3 different mints: Philadelphia, no mint mark; Denver, marked with a D; and San Francisco, marked with an S. While millions were produced, not all of them are created equal. Some rare errors and pristine conditions have turned these pennies into treasures worth thousands, and in some extreme cases, much more. Let's start with one of the most sought-after features: minting errors. Back in the 1930s, coin minting wasn't the high-tech process it is today. Errors slipped through, and those errors are now golden opportunities for collectors. One of the rarest errors associated with the 1937 Wheat Penny is the off-center strike. This happens when the coin blank isn't properly aligned during striking, leaving part of the design missing. If the coin is off-center but still shows the full date and mint mark, it becomes not just an error but a jackpot for collectors. Another highly collectible error is the double die obverse, when the coin's design appears doubled due to a misalignment during the die creation. You can spot this if the letters in Liberty, In God We Trust, or the numbers in the date 1937 appear slightly shadowed or duplicated. These varieties are extremely scarce, and sharp examples in high condition command sky-high premiums at auction. Then there are repunched mint marks, especially on the 1937 D and 1937 S versions. Look closely at the D or S beneath the date. If it appears to have a faint shadow or doubling, it could be an RPM, a repunched mint mark. Collectors and grading services like PCGS and NGC track these varieties carefully, and a confirmed RPM in top condition can easily increase the coin's value tenfold. Now, let's talk grading and condition, which play a massive role in determining a coin's value. Most 1937 wheat pennies found today are in circulated condition, scratched, faded, and worn down from years of handling. But when you find a coin in mint state, especially one with full red copper luster and no visible wear, its value multiplies drastically. Coins graded MS65 and higher are rare for this year. And if such a coin also features a known error like a double die or RPM, it's considered an elite find. These coins are usually authenticated, encapsulated, and sold at auction to the highest bidder. Speaking of auctions, here's a real-world example that shook the coin collecting community. A brilliant uncirculated 1937 wheat penny, full red luster, perfect centering, no contact marks, and featuring a rare die clash error, was showcased at a major coin show. Bidders knew this wasn't just a coin, but a living piece of American history. It eventually sold for a record-breaking sum that left collectors stunned. That penny, yes, one single 1937 wheat penny, fetched $300,000. That's right. A small copper coin that might be hiding in your drawer or rolling around in an old coin jar was sold for $300,000. Now, here's what you can do. Check your coin collections, your change, those old wheat penny rolls you've kept tucked away. Examine your 1937 pennies under a magnifying glass. Look for off-center strikes, doubling on the date or letters, and any mint mark abnormalities. Compare what you find with online references or certified coin databases. And if you think you've found something rare, don't hesitate, send it in for grading. Coin collecting isn't just a hobby. It's a journey into America's past. And in that journey, you might uncover something truly extraordinary, like a penny worth $300,000. Second rare coin, we're diving into one such mysterious and thrilling possibility: the 1954 D Wheat Penny. It's one of those coins that people overlook every single day, not realizing it might just be a jackpot hiding in plain sight. Now let's talk about why this penny, minted in Denver and marked with a small D beneath the date, is stirring up excitement in the collector world. First, you have to understand over 251 million of these were struck, so by sheer numbers, they don't sound rare. But here's where it gets interesting. Among those hundreds of millions, a very small handful came out with mint errors, varieties, and uncirculated conditions so perfect. They've become some of the most sought-after coins in numismatic history. One of the most fascinating features that collectors look for in the 1954 D penny is the repunched mint mark, often abbreviated as RPM. Back in the 50s, mint marks were hand-punched into the die, and sometimes the worker would accidentally punch the D more than once in slightly different positions. If you look closely with a magnifier or under a coin microscope, you might see a shadow of another D slightly above, below, or offset from the main one. That, my friends, is a repunched mint mark, and it can instantly turn your coin from common to highly collectible, but that's not all. Some extremely rare 1954 D wheat pennies have also shown die cracks, cuds, and even off-center strikes, all of which are mistakes made during the minting process that can raise a coin's value significantly. A die crack appears like a thin raised line across the surface, while a cud looks like a blob or lump on the edge where a piece of the die broke off. These errors were never supposed to be in circulation, but when they slip through, they become numismatic gold. Another exciting factor? Condition is everything. If your 1954 D penny is still sharp in detail, has a strong copper shine known as red luster, and shows no signs of wear, you could be holding what's known as a mint state coin. These are the holy grail for collectors. Graded by services like PCGS or NGC, coins in MS65 or higher are worth far more than average circulated pieces, especially if they include errors like RPMs or die breaks. Now let's look at the real proof: recent auctions. Not long ago, a 1954 D wheat penny with a bold repunched mint mark and flawless mint state red condition stunned collectors across the country. It was showcased at a major auction house, and bidders immediately recognized its uniqueness. The coin was graded MS67, an extremely high grade, and with its RPM variety clearly visible, it set off a fierce bidding war. By the end of the auction, when the gavel fell, the coin had sold for a jaw-dropping amount. That humble little copper penny, once worth just 1 cent, was sold for $140,000. Yes, that's right. $140,000 for a penny minted in 1954 with the tiny letter D beneath the date and the right combination of rarity, error, and mint state condition. So what should you do next? Start by checking your coin jars, your old albums, and those tucked-away wheat penny rolls. Use a magnifier to look for signs of doubling on the mint mark, unusual cracks, or lumps along the edge. Pay attention to the color. The redder and shinier, the better. And if your coin looks promising, consider getting it professionally graded. That small step could reveal the true value of a hidden treasure. Third expensive coin, we're talking about one of the most fascinating and valuable pennies from American coin history, the United States wheat penny 1 cent from 1956, with the D mint mark from Denver. Now, before you brush it off as just a penny, let me tell you, this coin is far from ordinary. This 1956 D wheat penny has captured the attention of collectors around the world for its unexpected rarities, intriguing mint errors, and potential high-dollar auction sales. So, if you're a coin enthusiast, collector, or just someone curious about hidden treasures, stick with me because what you're about to hear could surprise you. Let's begin with the basics. The wheat penny design, with Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and 2 wheat ears framing 1 cent on the reverse, was minted from 1909 to 1958. It's an iconic design, and many collectors start their numismatic journey by collecting wheat pennies. The 1956 D specifically was struck at the Denver Mint, and over 1.05 billion of these coins were produced. Yes, you heard that right, billion. So naturally, you might think, how can such a common coin be worth anything? Here's where the story gets fascinating. Even though the mintage was huge, a tiny number of these coins left the mint with rare and valuable errors. Errors that were overlooked in mass production, but that today are considered golden tickets in the coin collecting world. One of the most well-known errors on the 1956 D Wheat Penny is the repunched mint mark, RPM. Because mint marks were hand-punched onto dies during this period, the D was sometimes struck more than once, slightly off alignment. If you examine the mint mark under magnification and see what appears to be a shadow or doubling of the D, congratulations, you might be looking at a repunched mint mark variety. Some RPMs are subtle, but others are dramatic and obvious to even the naked eye. Another error to watch for is the double die obverse, where elements on the front of the coin, like the date, Liberty, or In God We Trust, appear slightly doubled. These double die coins are extremely collectible because they visually stand out and are easy to verify. Finding one in uncirculated condition is a dream come true for collectors. Also worth noting are die cracks and die breaks, which happen when the minting dies begin to wear out or break during production. You might spot these as raised lines or blobs of metal known as cuds along the rim or across Lincoln's face. While these errors might seem like imperfections, they actually make the coin more valuable because they're signs of mint anomalies. Now let's talk condition, which is everything in the world of coin collecting. Most 1956 D pennies found today are heavily circulated, scratched, and worn out. But on rare occasions, collectors discover coins in pristine mint state red condition. These coins have never been touched by human hands, never circulated, and still glow with their original red copper brilliance. The highest value coins are usually certified and graded by trusted services like PCGS or NGC. A 1956 D Wheat Penny with a prominent RPM or double die error, graded MS65 or above, can fetch jaw-dropping prices at auction. And yes, it's happened multiple times. One such coin, featuring a bold repunched mint mark and graded MS67 red, made headlines at a major numismatic auction. Collectors were captivated by its flawless luster, near-perfect strike, and rare variety, and the final hammer price stunned everyone watching. That little 1-cent coin sold for a life-changing amount, $170,000. Yes, you heard that right. $170,000 for a single copper penny minted in 1956 with the D mint mark, all because of the right combination of rarity, error, and impeccable condition. So, if you have a coin collection at home, now is the time to dig through your wheat pennies. Look for the 1956 D. Inspect the mint mark for signs of doubling, check the date for any unusual shifts or lines, and examine the overall condition. If you find something special, don't wait, get it professionally evaluated. That little copper coin just might change your life. Especially, we're going deep into the secrets of the 1957 D Wheat Penny, the hidden errors, the incredible rarity, and how some of these coins have shocked collectors at major auctions. So buckle up, coin lovers. If you've ever collected wheat pennies or simply enjoy the thrill of hidden treasure, you're going to love what's coming next. Let's begin with what makes this coin special. The 1957 D Wheat Penny was minted in Denver. That's what the little D below the date stands for. And although more than 1 billion of these were struck, making it one of the most common dates of the series, not every 1957 D penny is created equal. That's where things get fascinating. You see, buried within those billions of coins are rare varieties and unusual mint errors that transform this everyday penny into a collector's dream. One of the most desirable varieties is the repunched mint mark or RPM. Back in the 1950s, mint marks were manually punched into the coin dies. Sometimes the mint worker would strike the D slightly off and then strike it again in a corrected position. The result? A clear doubling of the mint mark, and that means value. You can spot this error by using a magnifier and inspecting the D below the date. If you notice what looks like a second shadow or outline of the mint mark, it could be a repunched mint mark. Depending on its clarity and the overall condition of the coin, This simple error can raise the coin's worth by hundreds or even thousands of dollars. But there's more. Some 1957 D pennies have been found with die cracks, cuts, and even off-center strikes, mistakes made during the minting process that make these coins unique. Die cracks look like raised lines on the surface of the coin, often stretching across Lincoln's face or the field's. A cud, on the other hand, appears as a blob on the edge of the coin where part of the die is broken off. These errors are not only visually dramatic, but they are also highly collectible. Now let's talk about condition, which plays a massive role in a coin's value. A coin fresh from the mint, uncirculated, and glowing with its original red luster is referred to as mint state red, or MS red. Coins in this condition are rare, and when they also have one of the errors we just talked about. That's the sweet spot. Grading companies like PCGS and NGCSS coins and give them a grade from 1 to 70. A 1957 D Wheat Penny graded MS 65 red or higher is already a valuable piece. But add a repunched mint mark or die crack variety, and the value skyrockets. Now here's where things get exciting: the auctions. In recent years, certified 1957 D Wheat pennies with strong red color, rare mint errors, and high mint state grades have turned heads at major numismatic auctions. One particular coin with a bold RPM and flawless MS 67 red grade drew serious bidding from seasoned collectors. It had perfect surfaces, incredible strike quality, and that all-important mint error that set it apart. When the final bid was placed and the gavel came down, the final sale price stunned even the experts. That humble 1957 D Wheat penny sold for an astonishing $100,000. Yes, you heard that correctly. $100,000 for a 1-cent coin, all because of a rare error, stunning condition, and a little copper magic. Oh, now the big question: could you have one of these valuable coins in your collection? It's time to check your wheat pennies. Look closely at your 1957 D coins. Examine the mint mark, scan for unusual bumps or cracks, and check the overall color and shine. If your coin looks promising, consider sending it in for grading. That small investment could lead to a massive return. Next coin, we dive into the incredible story of the United States Wheat Penny 1 cent 1951, a coin that has stunned collectors and made headlines in the numismatic world. If you're a coin lover, collector, or just curious about the treasures hiding in your pocket change, you'll want to listen closely. Let's rewind to 1951. The United States was booming post-World War II, and the mint was pumping out millions of coins. Over 284 million wheat pennies were struck in 1951 from the Philadelphia Mint, with no mint mark. And yes, on the surface, it may seem like these coins are common. But like in every massive production, a few slipped through with very special features that make all the difference in value. What collectors are truly chasing are the rare minting errors and unique varieties that turn an ordinary 1951 wheat penny into a high-dollar collectible. One of the most sought-after varieties is the BIE die break error. This occurs between the letters B and E in the word liberty, where a small vertical die crack forms, giving the illusion of the word BIE. This quirky flaw has become a cult favorite among wheat penny enthusiasts. Other valuable errors to look out for include double die obverse, where the lettering or date appears doubled due to a misalignment in the minting process. If you spot any strange shadows or overlapping numbers in the 1951 or the phrase "In God We Trust," you might be looking at a serious rarity. And let's not forget about off-center strikes, die chips, or even planchet errors, where the coin is struck on an imperfect or wrong type of metal. Now, how can you tell if your coin is worth something big? First, examine the coin under a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe. Look carefully at the date, the word liberty, and the motto, "In God We Trust." Check Lincoln's profile for any unusual features or surface breaks. If the coin has a strong copper red color and shows no wear, it may qualify as mint state red, one of the most desirable conditions a coin can have. Coin grading plays a huge role here. Professional grading services like PCGS and NGC will examine your coin and give it a grade from 1 to 70. based on its preservation. A 1951 wheat penny in MS 65 red or higher with a notable error or variety is where things start to get really exciting. That's the kind of coin that serious collectors compete over. In fact, rare examples of the 1951 wheat penny with strong color, clean surfaces, and confirmed die errors have made waves at auctions. One remarkable specimen, certified with a rare BE die break and graded a flawless mint state, shocked everyone when it crossed the auction block. The coin was clean, bright, and unique, everything a top-tier collector dreams about, and when the final bid rolled in, jaws dropped. That tiny copper coin sold for a staggering $180,000. That's right. $180,000 for a 1-cent piece minted over 70 years ago. And who knows? You could be holding one just like it in your collection, or find one tomorrow in pocket change, tucked inside a family coin jar, or hidden in a forgotten drawer. Don't overlook that old wheat penny. Examine every detail. Check for errors, doubling, and unusual breaks. If your 1951 wheat penny has any of these signs, you might just have a treasure on your hands. Last unique coin is the story of the 1958 United States wheat penny is more thrilling than you can imagine, a tale of rare minting errors, historical significance, and jaw-dropping auction prices that still leave collectors stunned. The 1958 wheat penny marks the final year of the beloved wheat reverse design, which had been featured on the back of the penny since 1909. In 1959, it was replaced by the Lincoln Memorial design. So, 1958 wasn't just any year, it was the end of an era. That alone adds historical weight to this coin. But the real reason this penny can command incredible value has to do with what went wrong at the mint. Among the millions of 1958 pennies minted, a very tiny number have an extraordinary error, a double die obverse, or DDO. This means that during the minting process, the die used to strike the front of the coin shifted slightly and was impressed again, creating a bold, noticeable doubling of the letters and numbers on the front of the coin. And this isn't just a faint shadow, it's a clear, crisp doubling that you can see with the naked eye. Look at the words, "In God We Trust," "Liberty," and the date 1958. If they appear doubled, you might be holding a jackpot. This variety is known as the 1958 double die obverse wheat penny, and it is incredibly rare. In fact, only a few are known to exist, making it one of the rarest and most desirable error coins in the entire Lincoln Cent series. This isn't just a curiosity, it's a coin that serious collectors will pay top dollar to identify one of these treasures. Start by examining your 1958 pennies very closely. Use a jeweler's loupe or magnifier. Check the obverse, the front of the coin. The doubling will be especially noticeable on the Liberty and "In God We Trust." It will look like the letters were struck twice, slightly offset. If you spot this, you're looking at something truly special. But remember, it's critical to have it authenticated by a professional grading company like PCGS or NGC. Only a certified coin with the DDO variety and a high grade will bring in serious money. And now let's talk numbers. A genuine 1958 double die wheat penny in pristine condition, certified by one of the top grading services, has sold for unbelievable prices at auction. These coins are so rare that when one appears, collectors from around the world compete to own it. At a recent auction, a beautifully preserved, red lustrous 1958 DDO penny, graded mint state, went under the hammer. After fierce bidding, the final sale price left everyone stunned. That little copper coin sold for $135,000. Yes, you heard that right. $135,000 for a 1-cent coin. That's the kind of value hiding in old jars, forgotten drawers, and dusty coin albums across the country. And that's why collectors like you and me keep hunting. Now, ask yourself, have you ever looked closely at your 1958 wheat pennies? Could one of them have the rare doubling that could change your financial future? If you think you might have something special, get it checked. You never know until you take a closer look, and here's your chance to join the conversation. If you've ever found a strange or unique 1958 penny or have questions about your coin collection, drop a comment below. Share your story, ask your questions. Let's build a community of coin lovers who help each other uncover hidden treasure. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for more amazing coin stories, and ring the bell so you're always the first to know when the next rare coin is revealed. Because somewhere, right now, another 1958 penny is waiting to be discovered, and it might just be worth $135,000.